Hopefully, you've already seen part one of this epic struggle between a team of plucky patrons brave enough to do battle with the experts and have their efforts preserved for posterity. That sounds like I read a guide to video editing that advises packing a lot of plosives into the opening sentence for added impact. Anyhow, as Jeremy Paxman would say, you all know the rules by now, let's just get on with it.
West opens a diamond, that seems pretty standard to me. Nick can't really find a bid with this hand, especially with the Queen Doubleton in diamonds. And now East has an interesting decision. I personally wouldn't pass. I think that even if partner doesn't have a very strong hand, then raising in diamonds gives you a chance to shut the opponents out. And it's still just about possible that you can make a game. So I would put a bit more pressure on the opponents and bid 2 diamonds. But it might be that, according to their system, West might have only 3 diamonds, and then it's much less attractive.
Well, I'm trying to remember what they played. I don't think they had much system, to be honest. But I agree with you. I don't think any of us would pass a diamond. The opponents could still have a game on, actually, and it'll be easier for them to find it.
Yeah.
So anyway, he did pass a diamond, and that meant Steve had an easy double. A south.
East might have considered a 2-diamond bid over the 1 heart now. Now that he passed the first time, at least compete where you're very likely to have a fifth.
Yeah,
I would have tried 2 diamonds now, I guess, at least to push the opponents a bit. 1 heart seems very...
Over 1 heart, as is, yes. Yeah. Quite clearly he should have done something, yes.
It could have been that Steve had a slightly stronger hand, and now it would be slightly more difficult to continue over 2 diamonds. I mean, apart from anything else, you've robbed them of the cubit at the 2 level.
What do we think of Nick's 1 heart bid with his 10 count?
Because you acted in the balancing position, Nick bid a slightly heavy 1 heart. I personally don't really like jumping here without 5, but then you probably would overcall when you have 5, so it's kind of an interesting auction.
That's something I feel very strongly about, not to jump here over a diamond to 2 hearts just because you got a few extra points. I bid a heart with a 10 count. If partner's got something like a decent 14 count with 4 hearts, he will raise to 2 hearts, and we take it from there. Also, of course, my hand is very queeny. Queen 1 in the opponent's suit doesn't look very tasty at all. So I much prefer to just bid a heart and take it from there. I've seen a lot of accidents when people jump to 2 hearts here because they got 10 points, and the other hand can't work out if they got a 4-card suit or a 5-card suit.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the modern style to bid 1 heart with up to about a 10 count, sort of a bad 10 count. And as a doubler, you just like raise with anytime you have 4, basically, and a decent double.
Yeah, I agree. It will very rarely go wrong.
It's not clear that you actually want a ruff here, so maybe switching to a club is not the most attractive, especially because partner might have something like Jack to 4, where if left to their own devices, they'll score a trick. It's not obvious whether you should be continuing with diamonds, or maybe you could try a low spade. But I would have thought playing King of Diamonds and hopefully Jack of Diamonds forcing the dummy would get us somewhere.
That would be my intention as well.
I would start with a spade and see how many tricks we can collect in that suit before I start giving roughs and sloughs. But along similar lines, yes. I would not go looking for a club rough when I'm long in trumps. Rather.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't see how it's clear that it's going to be a rough and slough. I would have thought the partner doesn't have 4 diamonds, especially if they're going to have the 1 or 2 cards needed to beat the contract.
That's fair. That's fair.
I would have played diamond as well.
But you're going to know after, if you take ace and king of diamonds, when the declarer drops the queen, you're going to know.
Yeah, and now you can play a small spade.
When we released the videos of the USA versus UK Teams Challenge, we had some people comment that all of the hands seemed to be played in high-level contracts, and that it would be nice to see some lowly part score hands. Never let it be said that we don't respond to our viewers' requests. Let's see what dizzy heights we can get to at the other table.
Here we had a little bit of a different option in the sense that I had a weak 3-diamond raise, and 1 diamond for us shows an unbalanced hand. We open all balanced hands, a no trump or a club. So I bid 3 diamonds showing a weak hand, and that shut the opponents out of the option. And in the play, since diamonds are 2-2, and you can ruff 2 hearts and dummy, there is not really much opponents can do. You're going to lose a spade, 2 hearts, and a club. You're going to score 5 trump tricks from length, 2 ruffs, the ace of spades, or the queen of spades for 9.
In this hand, I actually made a slight mistake. I could have made another over trick. When I led a heart towards the 10, John went in with the queen, and this means that I could now rough out the ace and the king. But I had to guess whether John...
But the discard doesn't really help you, though.
No, because they switched to a spade, so I got to score the queen, so I could pitch a spade from the dummy.
Now it helps you, yeah.
Now it helps you, yeah.
Yeah, and actually, I should have known. I thought that a priori this wasn't a thing I would do, putting the queen of hearts in from queen to 4. But if I'd counted the points, I would have seen that John had the queen of diamonds, the king jack of spades, the queen of hearts, and the queen of clubs from the opening lead. So if he had the ace of hearts in addition, then he definitely would have acted over a diamond. So I gave away an imp there.
Oh my God. The last time that happened was in 2012, wasn't it?
I wish that were true.
It's nice to see the experts being humble enough to highlight their mistakes. Well, just the one slight mistake. And he did go on to use a highbrow expression like a priori seconds later to redress the balance. Humilitas superbiam occidit, as I'm sure you'd all agree. So the pros scoring at both tables there means a 5-imp swing in their favour, bringing the score to 13-1 with only 2 boards left for the patrons to catch up.
This hand was quite interesting. Nick obviously doesn't have the greatest spade suit here, but I think with 6 and 4, you definitely have to bid something. I think at a different vulnerability, I would perhaps have tried 3, but being at unfavourable, it pays to be cautious, and I think 2 spades is fine. Do you guys have any opinions about how many spades to open?
I didn't love it, but these days, when everyone takes a bid as soon as they can, you have to get in and do something early. And the sooner you do something, the more upside there is and the less danger. I mean, if I wait and then come in with 2 spades after the opponents have made a couple of bids, well, then they're in a better position maybe to punish me.
Yeah, I'd rather open 2 spades or I'm not bidding at all.
Our opponents didn't have any Lebensol agreements anyway. I know that because there was no alerting going on here. So 3 diamonds didn't show values, it didn't deny values. Well, yeah. I think the West Hand is too good to protect with 2 no trumps in the pass-out seats. So either double followed by a no trump bid indicating around 18-20, or possibly just jump the 3 no trumps. I don't mind that either.
I think I would just jump the 3 no trumps, just because if you double and partner bids 3 hearts and you bid 3 no trumps, does that show a flexible hand with an option to play in 4 hearts if partner has 5? That was a potential as well.
Mm.
If the king queen to 3 spades, you can go spade lead to your queen, and then if ever South gets the leads, you're going to have to start decking the spade to begin with.
Yeah, I see no problem in trying to show your hand here and incorporate partner in the decision.
Double followed by 3 and could be an option. You could wrong side it as well. If you play Lebensol, then you're wrong sided it. Is another issue.
Possibly.
I think this could have been quite a complicated hand if the ace of spades had been offside. But here, there's not really too much to do now.
They probably need to lead a heart to beat 3 no trumps, right? Now they have both ends to set up the hearts. The queen of hearts probably is the only way to set 3 no trumps, I would guess.
Yeah, not really going to be found.
No.
Cast adrift here with 4 tricks still to be played and nothing intelligent to say, I was forced to add fast forwarding to my somewhat limited editing skills. So thanks for that, guys. Back to table 2.
With a similar situation, Shahzad just bid 3 no trumps.
Yeah, so my thinking here was that because we do play Lebensol, if I doubled, most of the time partner's going to bid 2 no trump to show a weak hand. And I really don't want the spade lead coming through my king-queen. And it's not really clear. I mean, the main advantage of doubling is you might find a 5-3 heart fit, but it's not exactly clear how we're going to continue anyway. So I just bid a practical 3-note trump.
Yep.
I like the lead of the King of Diamonds. I think he's a good shot.
It makes a lot of sense what you're saying, Shazad, making sure it's right-handed.
So
I often do the same thing myself.
So this hand was definitely tougher for me to play because I didn't get the spade lead on around, and I didn't know whether or not the ace of spades was on side. So here, there's definitely a case for exiting with the Jack of Diamonds, because that will take out North's entry. The problem is if I play an ace of clubs, if I play a club and South wins the ace. Now, if the ace of spades is offside, I'm just down. So perhaps it would have been better to play the Jack of Diamonds, hoping to pin doubleton 8 in diamonds and eventually build a diamond trick. But maybe it's just simplest to hope for the ace of spades on side.
But can you play the Jack of Diamonds and still be okay if it doesn't drop?
No.
They play Jack of Diamonds, what do they do now? You're saying they switch to a heart.
Yeah.
It's very tricky. It'll be very tricky to find.
I decided that for these kind of reasons, the lines are quite complicated and it's not the contract anyway. So, yeah, at this stage, once the contract was secure, I exit with the Jack of Diamonds. Maybe there's a squeeze, or maybe I can force out an extra trick by force. But nothing happened. I cashed my winners and I ended up with 9 tricks.
Now that I've discovered that fast-forward thing, there's just no stopping me. But I promise only to use it when there's nothing left to the remaining play. Same outcome there, so no swing. We're going to need something dramatic if the patrons are to pull this one back.
This is a hand that I didn't have to open. 4th in hand, you should have quite solid opening bids. But in a 6-board match, I didn't think that passing out the hand would be very exciting. So I decided to start with a heart.
Yeah, and the other thing is that you have quite decent spades, so you're not worried about the opponent stealing a part score in spades. Which is
not really, not with both opponents passing.
This one, the trump bid, is a bit more suspicious.
Yeah, I think most people would play that as a passed hand. If you bid 1-note trump here, it would not be natural. It would be kind of like the minors, I would have thought.
Yeah. Or Raptor. Depends. Raptor is 4 spades and 5 men.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it doesn't have to be 5-5 like 2-note trump, but I would have thought at least 5-4.
Because North could easily have had his bid, could have like a 17-18 count. And this one, no trump, and these colors. That could easily be a mountain. Could easily be a telephone number.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's difficult to know.
But it is the last board, and he hasn't done too much bidding up to this point, so one can understand he wants to get in the mix.
And I guess now Steve wasn't exactly sure whether his double was for takeout or penalties anyway. And you stopped in 2 spades, which seems fine.
Nice and safe.
Yeah, I mean, if it seems like East and West are on the same page about what the bids meant, because if I had West hand and I thought my partner had shown the minors, I'd be bidding at least once more.
Well, you'd be right. Even on this occasion, 3 diamonds, it's got good chances.
That definitely has very good chances.
Yeah, as long as you don't lose 2 diamond tricks, you should make it.
Well, on this occasion, he would only force me to bid 3 spades over it, so maybe it didn't change
3
that much.
spades, I think, can be defeated.
Yeah, 3 spades is too high, isn't it? I mean, in Steve's hands, anything could be too high, but...
How many tricks I made on this hand, Nick, before you start making comments?
But yeah, I don't think there's too much here.
He can't really take advantage of the fact that I haven't switched to diamonds yet. There's nothing he can do. I think you only made 8 tricks, right, Steve? It looks like you're losing the obvious 5. Or did you find a 9 somewhere? I can't remember.
I think I made 10.
You think you made 10? Okay, well, let's see about that.
I think you're right.
Okay.
Yes. Now they helped you with a hard suit. Yeah, that's right. You ended up making 10 tricks.
And the club suit, yeah.
I thought he might probably have ace king of hearts on my right for
They never defend like this when I played a hand.
Yeah, and now there's the roughing finesse available in hearts, so Steve made the rest.
Now, if East covers this with the king of hearts, we can ruff with the 10 of spades, and then we can play the 3 of diamonds to dummy's ace, and we got 3 jacks left. That's gin. This is very important. You're not going to have this many times in your life. I promise you.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
It's still, yeah.
I have 3 more minutes, but I can always leave.
I have to say that as someone who once played with Nick quite a lot, I have seen him. I once remember him playing a hand, and I thought it was dummy that he had the rest of the tricks, but he was concentrating quite hard. And then 4 tricks later, he puts his hand on the table, 3 queens, and he says, gin.
Well, when you're not in possession of the 7 of diamonds, you have to do something to generate flourish at the end of the hand. It's hard to see how Maggie and John can generate 13 imps out of this last hand, even against weaker opponents, let alone the combined might of Shahzad and Stefano. But let's see how they do.
I did not overcall a no-trump myself. That went a spade, pass. I think Norris did well to pass a spade. He gets the right bid. And I didn't see a bid for myself. Today I should have competed, right? But
yeah, but it seems like...
I like this pass from North. This is the classic way to show that you've opened a minimum hand.
Yeah,
I think it's a good bid. Yeah, it's king queen to 3 spades is a very, very fitting clear hand.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry so much about letting the opposition in. They both pass twice. So, okay, they might find 2 over minor, but it's unlikely.
Yeah, even if pawn has 4 spades, this is quite a nice hand to play in 4-3 spade fit rather than 1 no trump.
Absolutely, yes. And the upside is that you can raise the 2 spades to show actually quite a good hand.
Yeah.
On the spade lead, when the clever played the 10 of clubs from dummy, I think I fell from grace by playing the ace of club. I was hoping partner didn't have 5 diamonds, and I had counted that the clever probably had 5 spades. If they had the king of clubs, that was 6. Ace of diamonds was 7, and ruff was 8. So I was hoping I could go ace of club to the king, club ruff, heart to my partner's ace, and the trump. That was my hope. And the clever,
I'm sorry, it looks completely normal to take the 10 of clubs with the ace. If nothing else, you're covering an honor with an honor.
Yeah, but here it didn't work out well because it could have gone low, small, queen, club to my ace, heart to his ace, club for me to ruff.
Possibly.
It worked out well, but it feels like the right play.
In the ending, we had one more trick, enough to beat the contract. But
no, but if you do all of that, then you're not going to get your diamond trick.
You still do, right? Because I can play diamond back. We haven't set up the hearts yet. But yeah.
No, but he'll have a club winner to throw a diamond from
the dummy now, and because it's rough with your 3rd trump.
It's true.
So here, Stefano would have done better to not rough this. Oh no, sorry, that's not true, is it?
I think here we were over, right?
Yeah, no, he's right. He would have done better not to rough this, allow me to win, and then I put him in with the king of diamonds, and he
plays a trump.
Last trump. But it's just an over trick on this occasion.
Yeah.
So Maggie went on to take 4 more tricks here, making 8 compared with the 10 that Steve took at the other table. So that's 2 more imps to the pros, and a final score of 15-1 to them, which I for one think is a very respectable performance by the patrons. Big thanks to all concerned. I hope that the patrons had fun doing this, and that many more of you will join our supporters at patreon.com/ntbridge and play these challenges in the future. Do also check out Interbridge, the great new platform on which this challenge was played. And if you'd like to play in one of our regular tournaments that take place on the platform, just sign up for free at www.newtricksbridge.club.